Okay, I don't really know where to start with this one because, well, we've just seen what the second zombies map in Black Ops 6 looks like, Liberty Falls, and I honestly thought, considering how well received Terminus was, that this map was going to be equally as good or have people just as excited to play it. But after seeing footage of it at COD Next, after watching all of the YouTubers that went to that event play Liberty Falls, I'm not lying here, you can go back and check out the live stream for yourself when I say there were thousands of people hating on this map, calling it an L. It bemoves me. I thought, oh, okay, maybe this is just something to do with the Call of Duty live stream itself. We all love to hate on COD sometimes for no reason, so I went over to Dolik's channel because he was live streaming from COD Next to see what his viewers' reactions were, and they were the exact same, if not worse. I checked out Milo's live stream when I wasn't at the event but was streaming it, when the majority of his chat was the exact same. I checked the YouTube video, I checked Twitter, just to double check this wasn't a one-off, and it wasn't. Compared to the great reception that Terminus got, the first Black Ops 6 Zombies map, the second one, Liberty Falls, now that it's been revealed, as I said in one of my other videos, has completely turned Black Ops 6 Zombies around. It's done a 180. 99% of players have gone from being super excited about it because Terminus looked really good and so expected the other map, this one, Liberty Falls, to be on the same level, but now that we've seen gameplay of it, it isn't. And I agree, after seeing this map, I'm underwhelmed, and to me, there isn't one specific reason why this is. It's a bunch of things, which is really interesting to me because both of these maps exist on the same game. One of them has been received extremely well, and the other one hasn't. What is so different between Liberty Falls and Terminus that has caused people to all of a sudden turn on BO6 Zombies? And to be honest, it's obvious. All you've got to do is look at the two maps, and if you've been around for a while and have listened to the complaints to do with Call of Duty Zombies, even over the past couple of years, you will notice that some of those old complaints that people had with Cold War, Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3 seem to have resurfaced again in Liberty Falls, where they weren't visible in Terminus. Terminus looked like an old style zombies map. And what I mean by that is it has a zombified atmosphere, it has character, it's got its own dedicated crew, and more importantly, it doesn't look like something you would see in multiplayer or the campaign. It looks like a traditional zombies map. And then you look at Liberty Falls, and you've got to use your imagination a bit here, but if you took away the weapon, if you took away the HUD, and you removed the zombies, if you were just left with the map itself, with nothing there, you wouldn't be wrong thinking this was a multiplayer map or a campaign mission. The map itself doesn't represent anything zombies, besides from the odd zombie trap such as Etherella, besides from the pack-a-punch machine, besides from the standard zombies features. The actual map itself doesn't look like a zombies map, and we have had maps like that in the past. You could do the exact same for 5 set in the Pentagon. You take away the HUD and the zombies in that map and it's a campaign mission. You wouldn't know any better. You could say the same for Alpha Omega, the top half of that map. You would be forgiven for mistaking it for the Nuketown multiplayer map. The same thing could have been said for all but one of the Cold War maps, excluding D Machine, Mal de Toten, Firebase C and Forsaken. You could easily mistake for campaign or multiplayer maps, and well, actually that's exactly what they were. The same could be said for Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3 because they were multiplayer maps, Warzone maps, campaign missions. They weren't designed specifically for zombies. Terminus was, and so people were really excited to see, well, hang on, Treyarch have had 4 years to make this game. We've already seen Terminus. That's a zombies map through and through. It's got everything that the standard zombies map would: atmosphere, character. Okay, some things are still missing. The HUD looks horrible, but the design of the map more than makes up for it. I think because of how promising Terminus looked, you probably would have expected Liberty Falls to be on that same level. Yes, we know it's a smaller map. Treyarch already made us aware that it was supposed to be easier and more accessible to multiplayer players to get into zombies, but none of that meant it wouldn't include the same character and atmosphere that Terminus has. But well, we've just seen gameplay of it, and nothing that I've just spoken about is there. And that seems to be the main issue. The counter argument that I've seen to this is, well, no one besides from the creators that were at the COD Next event have played the game yet, so, you know, you can't judge a new game before you've played it. But that's kind of the point. This is very similar to Black Ops Cold War, so in a way, we have played it, we have experienced what something like this is like. These are not new complaints for Black Ops 6, these are complaints that were first brought up in Cold War and then continued on in Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3 and now in Black Ops 6. A lot of the issues that people are having with Liberty Falls were the same issues that people were having back in Black Ops Cold War. So the counter argument of, well, you haven't played the game yet, these aren't new concerns. The other counter argument I've seen as well, yes, Liberty Falls looks different, but so did Shadows of Evil when it first came out. When Black Ops 3 first dropped, nobody liked Shadows of Evil because, wait, aliens and zombies? This isn't traditional OG zombies, and then, who could have guessed it, 6 months later it turns out to be one of the best zombies maps ever. It's a fan favourite. So the message is, don't judge a book, or in this case, a map by its cover. But the difference between the Shadows of Evil situation and the Liberty Falls situation is, again, we'd never seen anything like Shadows of Evil before, whereas we've seen something like Liberty Falls. We've had plenty of maps that look similar to this in Cold War. We've experienced similar gameplay features in Modern Warfare 3. This is nothing new. All of the issues that people seem to be having with this map are issues that have existed since Black Ops Cold War. Issues that were rectified with Terminus, but seem to have gone back in this map. And I'm not only bringing up Cold War because I think this could be one of the maps on that game. It looks like it would fit, but that's what most of the comments that I'm reading are saying as well. Watching gameplay, people were saying, is this Cold War 2.0? Is this an extension of Warzone? And you know what? I just went back to watch the COD Next live stream, and this sums it up so perfectly. Just listen to this.
If you're playing, to your point, yeah.
As you play, as rounds turn, you always have a chance to earn a gun.
Okay.
What's new and really cool is we actually allow you to take 3 and store them on yourself. So you can actually kind of strategize or make combos and decide how to use them. It uses the score streak menu, very similar to MP. So if you're familiar with that, kind of sorting between those, you can do it here.
Yeah.
Really excited to see how people are going to kind of
just feels like you guys are
these things
doing
out.
such a great job of just making sure that like the person who only plays multiplayer can go over to zombies and also feel at home with like some of the mechanics that kind of transfer over, which I think is really cool. Yeah.
I mean,
and that's the awesome thing, especially about like Omni movement, the global systems that are coming. We called out the HUD presets earlier, which you'll be able to see in zombies as well. Dedicated melee. We've got plenty of stuff.
So much of the stuff we do at the core is so buttery smooth. It's like we want to bring that over into zombies.
You're making me hungry. We're talking about coffee and butter.
The person interviewing Kevin Drew, I don't know who he was, but Kevin Drew is the director of Zombies. He said to Kevin, it just feels like you guys are doing such a good job at making sure the person who only plays multiplayer can go over to Zombies and also feel at home. I'm sorry to say it, but I think that's where this stems from. I think that's when this problem started, when Treyarch tried to turn Zombies into multiplayer by implementing features from that mode, allowing multiplayer players to easily switch over to Zombies. Whereas in Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, World at War, that was never the case. Zombies had its own unique features, its own unique weapons upgrade system, its own unique characters, maps, whereas now we've got operators, which are intended for multiplayer in Warzone, we've got multiplayer score streaks, we've got a multiplayer heads-up display, a goddamn minimap. Treyarch have tried to multiplayer-ize Zombies to the point where it's ended up losing its own identity. They did a great job of covering that up with Terminus, which is why no one complained about it, even though the only difference is the map. It's still the same multiplayer gameplay features that we see in Terminus. It's still on the same game, but the map is what made the difference. As far as I'm aware, Liberty Falls has been completely made for Zombies by the Zombies team. I do know it's a multiplayer map. I would be interested to know which came first. Was it the Liberty Falls Zombies map that was built first, or was it the multiplayer map? I could totally see this working as an MP map as well. Nothing on this really screams it was built for Zombies to me, which has me a little bit suspicious that it started out as an MP map and Treyarch then expanded it into this Liberty Falls Zombies map. That doesn't really matter as long as Treyarch change enough so that it feels like a Zombies map, but in this case they haven't. And the strange part is there are easy changes that Treyarch could make which would fix a lot of the issues that I'm seeing people are having. The big one being the HUD. Yes, you can now customize the HUD in Black Ops 6 Zombies. In the simplest form, you can remove certain things, I believe, such as the minimap. You can remove enemy health bars. You can switch the round counter from the top right to the bottom right. You can have a completely blank heads-up display, so there's nothing on your screen. But the one thing you are stuck with is this preset style of the icons, which look exactly the same throughout all 3 modes. The campaign, Warzone, multiplayer, and Zombies all have the same style HUD. Back in the day, I hate saying that because I want to move on from it, but it's the best reference that we have, especially for this point. Zombies always had its own unique HUDs, and the HUD felt zombified, sometimes specific to maps, like Buried had its own HUD with kind of an old Western wheel for its select icon, but the HUD in Black Ops 6 Zombies, it was the same for Cold War, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 3. This is a multiplayer HUD. It's a Warzone HUD. It's no different. Why can't zombies have a unique HUD? Surely that would be so simple for Treyarch to do. Just redesign a couple of things. I don't understand why this HUD even exists in zombies, how they've gone from what we used to have to this. Maybe it's just because it's easier for multiplayer players to switch over to zombies if they see the exact same HUD. They know what the icons are and what they do, but you're appeasing a totally different fan base to displease the players that actually care about this mode. So a simple revamp of the icons on the heads-up display would make a world of difference. I'm also wondering if this is because it's a daytime map, something very rare in zombies. Most of the maps take place during the night or dusk, dawn, or there's an eclipse. It's very rare that we have bright maps. I'm trying to think of some bright daytime maps that are also considered the best. D Machine was pretty good in Cold War. That took place during the day. Area 51 on Moon, Alpha Omega did, but that wasn't a good map. Yeah, there isn't many. It seems like most of the good maps, or not even the good ones, the bad ones as well, take place at night. I'm thinking if this map was set during the night, it could make it feel a little bit more zombified. But what I also noticed is there's just no character. Everything feels very plain and clean. Now, I get this also links into the story. The zombie outbreak has literally happened on this exact day, so you wouldn't expect the place to be destroyed or overgrown just yet, but it would make a world of difference. The only map similar to Liberty Falls to me is Transit. Not in the way it works, but just in the way that it's, you know, a town. Transit was pretty much like a town split into different sections. That map had so much atmosphere because of the fog, the lava, even though annoying, it added to the atmosphere. The cornfields. If Treyarch added some ivy to the walls, cars on fire everywhere, if some of the buildings had fallen down, there's just nothing about this that screams COD Zombies. It's unfortunately a plain, dull, boring looking map. I can talk about how armor shouldn't exist in zombies or how score streaks shouldn't exist, but they're in Terminus, no one complained then. I really do think it's just down to the map. Surely within that 4-year development time, they weren't just working on Terminus the whole time, they would have been working on this as well. When I look at Terminus, I see a map that possibly could have taken 3 or 4 years to make, but when I look at this, it seems like something that could have been built up in 6 months. Looking at Terminus, I thought they've seen all those complaints, they've rectified it, but then when I see this, it makes me think they've just completely ignored everything. On the other hand, you could say I'm being totally naive. We were told that this was going to be a simpler map, catered more towards the multiplayer player, but to actually see it is still disappointing. I think there was still a way they could have catered more towards the MP player, but zombified the map. Just looking at some of the comments, someone said no soul, they need Jason Blundell man. This looks fun still, which, you know, I don't disagree with. I didn't like Cold War's maps particularly, but I didn't find the game boring, it was still fun. I just thought we kind of moved on and improved from that. But obviously, in the case of this map, no. Somebody else said this looks like an Outbreak map. Honestly, it kind of does. How the Outbreak maps were just big open areas with nothing to do. Somebody else said this is for DMZ players, that's why we hate it. Maybe that's valid. Maybe because this is built for MP players, not for us, and they, by the way, vastly outnumber us. There's a lot more multiplayer players and Warzone players than there is zombies players. They will love it. This is for them. Somebody said the Warzone Area 99 looks more zombified than this. I don't know, but it definitely has more character. Another comment said the trailer was a scam. Yeah, I kind of feel that as well. Watching the Liberty Falls trailer definitely made you feel like this was going to be just as big as Terminus. It was just as important. It got you extremely hyped that this was a zombies map, and then to see this, it's not on the same level. Another person said it just doesn't give zombies vibes. Yeah, clearly this map just isn't intended for zombies players, which is okay, but when we all heard we were getting 2 zombies maps on day 1, that was so hype, knowing that we hadn't had that since Black Ops 4. Well, we actually had 4 zombies maps on day 1 then, but Black Ops 3, to go back to 2 zombies maps on day 1, to be able to play 2 zombies maps from the get-go, to switch between them, was super exciting. But now to know that one of them isn't all that, and isn't really, it's a zombies map, but it doesn't look and feel like one. It kind of feels like we're back to one zombies map again. I really don't know how to describe it. I'm disappointed. This is nowhere near the same level as Terminus. I didn't expect it to be in terms of content and stuff to do, because it is the smaller map, but that doesn't mean it had to lack character and atmosphere. It doesn't mean it had to look like a multiplayer map. It doesn't mean the map itself still couldn't feel like a zombies map. There is really no reason why in 2024, with a game that's had 4 years of development time, we are getting a map that looks so boring. This isn't what Call of Duty Zombies is, or normally is. Normally the maps are exciting, vibrant, atmospheric. This is none of that. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for this map. Terminus still looks good though, and we've still got a lot of DLC maps to come, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.